Here I am, joined by Chris Mason to talk through the 2018 Premier League. First night in Dublin.
Yeah, big talking point.
Yeah.
I think people have been talking about the Premier League more than the Worlds and or both World Championships. Yeah, it's one of those. Some people like it, some people don't. Yeah. I was shocked that Whitlock was included. And to be honest, that was backed up by the very fact the bookies have made him a 200 to 1. He's the biggest outsider in the event. I always thought that it was about what you did on TV. It's a brand exercise for the PDC. It's like a global tour. Now we're over in Germany and Rotterdam. So yeah, I was surprised he was in. Made the Grand Prix final okay, but apart from that, his form has come from the floor. Yeah. What on earth floor form has to do with being in the Premier League, I don't know. Yeah. Obviously, the other talking point was Chizzy being left out for the first time in a while. He was the highest sort of ranked and profile name, I believe, to be dropped out. And then obviously the inclusion of the Debutantes.
Yeah, 4 of them this year.
4 of them.
It's mental.
Which I would have thought Barry might have gone down that route and gone, right, let's have the year of the Debutantes and chuck the youth world champion in, Dimitri van der Berg.
This is another thing. I mean, this guy, he's so marketable. Yeah. The way he gets up on the stage, he starts dancing, he's outstanding. Yeah, yeah. I mean, he's actually the world youth champion. Yeah. That's the first thing. He's right, it's not a major, but it is, kind of.
You imagine if Taylor would have beat Cross in the final, you'd have had a Premier League with no world champions in it. Yeah. Which is unbelievable. Mensur debut, Gerwyn Price debut. You know, he's another, yeah, Rob Cross. So he was and Daryl Gurney making his debut. How are they going to respond? How are they going to cope with the schedule? Because you've got to be there on the Wednesday. So you have Wednesday away, you're there Thursday to play, you travel on Friday, and then off to the Pro Tours.
Even with that alone, I believe it's every year after the Exeter one, they're up in Minden on the Friday to start the UK
Open. Yep.
So it's a big tournament pushed in and collided around everything else that's going on. It's difficult for them. In terms of how these debutants are going to get on, for me, Rob's the only one who hasn't really played a World Series. Yep. The rest of them have.
With some success.
They understand how it is on a big. I know you've played Ali Pali, big arena, Matt's played very big arena. But when you're going to Rotterdam and you're playing in front of however many orange Dutch blokes who stood there shouting for Barney, yeah. How's he going to cope with that?
Exactly, yeah, it's unknown territory for him. As we said, we don't know how he's going to cope with the expectation of being world champion for one. You know, before he was, you know, it was just he was a name, he was a face to look out for. He was, you know, he could go well, he could win it. You know, he'd lost in 8 of his 9 meetings with Michael van Gerwen before at different stages in TV tournaments. Yeah. So now he's the main man, and he's now their poster boy. He's the one that they're going to expect as a brand, the PDC, to do well. You know, he's the he's the world champion. He's the one with all the expectations, and I'm looking forward to seeing how he's going to respond. I was shocked, not shocked so much with the Smith inclusion. I thought they all speak of, was it too early and all the rest of it. Maybe Barry, on reflection, thought maybe I should have given him another year. But I'm not sure what's changed. The Michael Smith that finished bottom, and I mean the problem for us was we had one player who pulled out through illness, and he had to play twice in the one night.
I think that's always, for the last couple of years, we've had a couple of those, and it really is difficult for the player that has to play 2 games, especially.
And he lost both.
Especially if you lose the first one.
Yeah. Because he lost both, so then he was chasing everybody else, and he became like the whipping boy. Because
if you think about it, they plan ahead and prepare for 1 game every Thursday night, right? And all of a sudden, on a Wednesday night, when someone's not well enough to play, someone turns around and goes, you've got to play 2 tomorrow, Chris. Yeah. You've lost the whole week of preparation for that second game.
Yeah, of course you are. And you're in unknown territory again because you don't know how to prepare because you never would have done it before. I think the debutants are going to enjoy the experience because they're going to be having more practice. You know, it's new, unless they get dominated, which is what we've seen in the past. Yeah. Then it starts to become a chore. Then they're thinking, oh my God, it's Premier League again. Or who have I got? I can't afford to lose. You know, and that whole cycle starts all over again. I think Whitlock's going to struggle.
I think there's a few of them that are going to struggle.
Yeah, I think Gerwyn Price might find it tough going.
Yeah. Mensur.
Yeah, I think Mensur is current form at the moment. I think your MVG, your Barneveld, again, debatable whether you can put him in there or not. You know, it's one of those. What, has he done enough on TV to warrant a place? But Cross, MVG, Barneveld, possibly Gurney, and definitely Peter Wright, they're dominant players, right? They know how to dominate.
Yeah.
But Gurney's form is another one that's a worry. So them debutantes could be getting thumped by the big four on a regular basis, and they'll be.
It could be a battle at the bottom.
It will be a battle at the bottom.
It could be a league at the top and a league at the bottom.
Exactly.
To fight for.
To not finish last.
Yeah.
Because I think whoever that group finished last, you know, how can you make another case like if Whitlock, who I suspect may find it tough going, because I think the big four ahead of him are playing so well, and he's on a level with the rest of them that they'll be beating each other and not taking any points out of the big four.
Let's not forget about Dave Chisnell as well. I mean, it was a close one.
Yeah, with
really.
Chisnell or Smith.
Yeah.
Chisnell or Whitlock even. But because there's been he's in such dire form at the moment that maybe they felt that, you know, they couldn't really put him in there because he wouldn't be able to hold his corner.
Yeah.
You know, he wouldn't be able to hold his own. But I'm also fearful of that of your Mensur Suljovics, of your Whitlocks. You know, not so much Michael Smith. I've been impressed with Michael Smith's form towards the back end of last year. Let's not forget he had darts to beat Cross. You know, he had darts
Cross
to knock him out.
Could not be the person he currently is.
Exactly.
It's interesting. For me, the four I'd pick from a back end right now would be Van Gerwen.
Yeah.
Gary on performance and capability.
Yeah.
Through the short.
Yeah, he likes that little
format.
short race.
I'd pick Rob, and I'm going to go for it. I think Gurney is. I think less expectation on Gurney in this tournament.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I think Gurney could sneak through on the fourth spot because him and Barney. If Barney's, like we said earlier, if Barney's shaking his head and he's lost 3 on the bounce, he's going to be halfway.
You'll throw the towel in. You'll throw the towel in. I think with Gurney, I think you're right. I think the spotlight's going to be on Cross. Yeah. It's going to be on MVG. Possibly Gary Anderson. Yeah. I don't think the spotlight's going to be on the debutantes. I think they're good because, you know, apart from Cross, obviously, I think it's going to be interesting to see how Pricey responds to it all. Yeah, it's going to be especially like I say the crowds, because big crowds. It's one of those. But I think you're right about the top four. I think the top four is pretty much done now. I don't think we'll see any surprises because I don't think the ones outside of that elite group have that 105, 110. They can do it. Yeah. They don't do it on TV. No. Can they do it on TV? The fact that they're playing every week and it might become familiar to them, that could change their whole game. That could change the dynamics of their whole career. Yeah. Especially the debutantes. They get used to that. Because I don't care what you say. It's hard work standing in front of big crowds. If it feels second nature to you, like it does, Michael gets up there the same as he'd get up playing in the pub on a Thursday night.
Michael's Michael. He could play either in Stockport on a Thursday night, or
and still at 110 average.
He's a machine, that man. And I think so. Rob Cross can be like that as well.
Yes,
but he just needs a bit more experience. The further he goes.
Well, we don't know. He's not the finished article yet.
Not yet.
We don't know how good he's going to be. I speak to Rob a lot. I've known him a number of years. I've watched him practice. Yeah. So I know there is another level, and that's frightening for everybody, including MVG. If he takes them two could literally lock horns now for the next 2 years, and we could be in for an incredible treat. And then you've got the other people who are trying to get in on the act, your Gary Andersons, your Barnevelds, you know.
Most of them.
Most of them, yeah.
they're all, they can all play darts.
I mean, there's a long list. Your Dimitris, your Jamie Lewis, and let's see if they continue with their form. You know, they're going to be in contention in 2019. Yeah. You know, darts is in a great place right now, and I mean, it's really exciting to see. I'm not a big fan of the Premier League because it was the same old. Yeah. I pretty much could write the results down. I could more or less do a list from 1 to 10, and I wouldn't be far off. Yeah. This year, I ain't got a clue. Yeah.
If I can get you to pick two players that are going to drop out, right on the nose, Chris. Who do you think?
Whitlock and Mensur.
There we have it. So me and Chris have done our preview of the Premier League. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. See you in a bit. Thank you, mate.